What's up, guys? It's your boy Shingi. Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shingi and I'm a Chelsea fan. And these are my thoughts and opinions on Enzo Maresca, resigning from Chelsea last season. So the reason why um, Maresca, resigned from Chelsea, is revealed 2 days ago was because um, he was allegedly, or not allegedly, but he was in talks with Manchester City. You know, Pep Guardiola probably gave him a call and was like, "Yo, man, you know, the Manchester City management job just opened up here. Just go there and tell them that I sent you." You know, yeah, man, and I mean, understandably, he uh, was going to go there. Eventually he was going to go there, but we never really thought it would be, that soon. We thought maybe he would um, spend a little bit more time at Chelsea and then, he'll go. But that is not what happened. That is not what happened. And yeah, Chelsea fans are saying, they're they are protesting. They don't like it. They don't like that he went to Manchester City, and they're calling me a snake, and they're saying, oh, we ain't gonna wish him luck, with Manchester City, and yeah, all these things. And I have to say, yo, you guys must be ashamed of yourselves. Must be ashamed of yourselves because it's like you've forgotten everything. You've forgotten everything. You've forgotten that Blue Co. You know, have ruined this football club. You've forgotten that the reason why we're in this mess, is because of Blue Co. Alright. I do not blame Maresca for leaving, for resigning, for talking to Manchester City behind our backs, because he um, was leaving a toxic environment at Chelsea. Alright. I mean, take yourself for instance. Alright. You are at a job where this job does not listen to your ideas. This job, is not ambitious. They're not ambitious enough. They do not give you the tools to compete. You know, they don't give you the tools to compete. They control everything like the transfers. Um, they control the transfers. And they are signing young players who if you are flooding your team with young players, it's not gonna guarantee success. You need experience in there, and Blue Code they haven't been providing that experience for Maresca, you know, and also Maresca asked for a centre back when Levi Cole got injured, and yeah, man, like of course you'd leave, right? Of course you'd be frustrated, especially in December where results started tanking, like we always do, Chelsea. Results always you know, it's always bad results, every time in December. So yeah, I would not blame him for leaving. You know, in fact, I would do the same thing, right? I would do the same thing. You guys have forgotten that Blue Co are in this mess, all right? Blue Co are in this mess, and Maresca leaving, I feel like probably exposed, you know, um, working under Blue Co. Okay, kind of exposed that. All right, so I don't know why Chelsea fans are you know outraged or angry that he left Chelsea, or he was talking to Manchester City behind Chelsea's backs. Or I do not know why, because you know if in more ambitious club, or a club that's constantly in the title race, that is constantly in the Champions League, yeah, yo, if they come knocking, obviously um you're gonna go there because I would be much more happier, at that club. I mean, I bet you an arm and a leg that if Maresca asks for a player that he wants, he will, um, he will get the player. He will get the player that he wants. All right. So I don't know why people, why people are. It's like they won't do the same thing. Like, are you kidding? Especially working on a blue coat. All right. Plus, I feel like Enzo Maresca leaving um, in December, leaving in the middle of the season. I feel like that benefited, us in the long run. It did, straight up. Because imagine this here. Um, After Maresca left, we went for Liam Rosinha, yeah. We went for Liam Rosinha, and we had that shit show of a season. We had that crappy season where um, we we lost 6 games in a row, scored 1 goal, all that. I mean, imagine this, yeah. Imagine if Maresca, because in my opinion, I don't know about you guys, but if Maresca had stayed until the end of last season, we would have gone Champions League. Definitely, we would have gotten it. But you know, him going to Manchester City, was gonna be inevitable. He was gonna go, right? He was going to go at the end of the season because, yeah, obviously, like he would go. And people are like, yeah, could have stayed until the end of the season, helped Chelsea until the end of the season, and then, went. But no, if he had done that, if he had gone to the season, guess who we would have appointed? Guess who we would have appointed? All right, we would have appointed Liam Rosinha for this upcoming season. All right, we would have appointed Liam Rosinha for this upcoming season, and um, I'm sorry, but yeah, we would have been in for one hell of a crap show, a shit show of a season. Bro, we would have been in for a shit show of a season. All right, we would have been in for one of the worst seasons in your Chelsea lives. So they if it wasn't for Maresca, yeah, and the results that he got previously, like before Liam Rosinha came in, yo, if Liam Rosinha had um, managed Chelsea for that whole season, would have finished like 17th or 16th, man. All right, that's what would have happened. Okay, so I don't know why people are forgetting this. All right, if we had gotten Champions League, you know, if we had gone Champions League, yeah, if we had won maybe a trophy, a domestic trophy, yeah, Blueco would have just not changed anything. They would have relaxed, not changed the model, you know, and we would have stuck to the model and gone for Liam Rosinha. Okay, and this a disastrous season would be upon us. All right, it would be. All right, we would be looking at finishing, you know, even escaping relegation, man. Straight, and we would be still signing young players. We will still be, controlling every Bluco will still be controlling every transfer. All right, and we would be still signing young, mediocre, inexperienced players. All right, so yeah, you know, that's why I'm like, yeah, Maresca, resigning, you know, the Bluco have somehow woken up a bit, but yeah, well, we're here to see what Xabi Alonso is here to bring because I can guarantee you that if Maresca had stayed until the end of the season and gone Champions League, then we would have never gone for Xabi Alonso. All right, it would basically prove that the model is working and they're gonna stick to the model and then hire Liam Rosinha and then yeah. So I don't get it. All right. Plus, you guys are forgetting that um, Maresca led us to winning the Club World Cup. He led us to the Champions League qualification in the 24-25 season. So Um, yeah, you would think that Blue Co would be more ambitious. We would go for better players. Would go for sponsorship deals, front of shirt sponsor deals. By the way, we don't even have a front of shirt sponsor for a fourth season in a row. So I don't know why you're blaming Maresca for this. I don't know why. But yeah, that would have happened. And um, yeah, you would think that I thought they were gonna be more ambitious enough to go for, better players. But then guess what we got? We got Alejandro Garnacho and Facundo Bonanotti. All right, and Maresca didn't even get his center back. When Levi Cole got injured, Maresca did not even get his center back. So, you know, if you're not leaving or resigning to a better club that's going to, guarantee you success and, he's going to allow you to be successful. If you're not going to do that, then I don't know. I don't know. You're probably not human, all right? Yes, loyalty is, yes, you have to be loyal, whatever, but I'm sorry, like, if Bluco were more ambitious, if they, had given Mariska what he wanted, if they had done whatever he wanted, had, um, if they had, um, if they had given him the centre backs that he wanted, if they were more ambitious, if they were not buying young players, then, you know, if he had left in that situation, I'd be like, yeah, Mariska, what have you done? You're a snake. But I don't think he's a snake, right? I don't think he's a snake. I feel like, yeah, you know, he started his career at Manchester City, right? He been at Manchester City, so you can't really blame him, right? If he wants to go back home, he wants to go back home, all right? Oh, and plus, because of Bluco, we did hire Maresca, alright. Like if Bluco were even ambitious, more ambitious, we wouldn't have gone near him, alright. We wouldn't have gone near him, but somehow it worked, to an extent. He brought us success. He brought us Champions League qualification. You know, the best manager under this ownership. But yeah, I'm looking forward, to Xabi Alonso and what he does during the season. And yeah, looking forward to Xabi Alonso. Um, he starts his job today, and looks like I also start, my YouTube journey today. And yeah, let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Let's see the players who come in. Marco Palestra, or is already in. Granit Xhaka, is probably gonna come. Sunderland are being difficult, but he's probably gonna come. And there's a left back, from rival Acano, Pep Chaveria, who is coming as well. He's also experienced. He's also experienced, but I don't know if he's the experience that we need. But the model's probably changing, and Xabi Alonso probably saw him and was like, yeah, I want that player. I want that player. That's probably Xabi Alonso's signing right there. But otherwise, yeah, that is my opinion on the Enzo Maresca situation. And yeah, that is my opinion. I just think that people are just forgetting that Blue Co, are the problem here. Shift your focus to Blue Co. The message is always Blue Co out. Get them out of here. All right, you know, get them out of here. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and subscribe, comment, and like. Oh, and turn on notification bells. To be updated on the latest uploads. Thank you.